Good evening, good evening. This has to be a quick one. Let's go. This has to be a quick one. I don't know if you could, I didn't know if you guys heard what I said, so I'm going to say it again. This has to be a quick one, so let's go.
That you're violating people's constitutional rights.
Ooh, this is going to be good. So, in my break, what we have is a lot of big talking from creators. And I don't know if they think they're slick, or I don't know if they think that their narrative has just been solidified properly, but we're going to respond. The only problem is, I think she starts talking about me around here, so we want to take a look at that. We also want to take a look at a clip of her going literally out of her mind crazy. So I don't know if it's something about her screaming, "Don't follow me," or did she scream, "Don't follow me," or something like that. So yeah, that's going to be fun. But let's go ahead and start right around here, because she's trying to be real slick. You know, they're very cowardly, I think is the word, because they won't tell you exactly what they're talking about, and they just imply a lot. Now, they do that on purpose, whereas over here, we are very specific. So let's hear what she says and does here, and what she's trying to imply. And of course, I'll fill in the blanks, because she's okay. One thing that these creators do is they still try to leverage personal information as some kind of tool they have to threaten somebody. And they're constantly trying to layer it into what they say. It's almost a habit from them. I'll show you what I mean as we get going. Let's go ahead and throw up the closed captions. And this video is straight from Betty. This is fresh off of the Betty bandwagon 6 hours ago. Okay. Now, she makes a pretty nice little statement there that I want to get up on the channel. So, and I'm sorry to anyone on the replay viewers. I am just rolling right into this, and sorry to the live viewers for that, but I've been extremely busy today, but I want to get a response in, so let's go.
They don't know what the heck they're doing. And that's really concerning for me. It really is. And,
let's make sure we don't miss anything. And the audio is going to be on. That's her bad. The audio is her bad, because I don't know. I guess she's got her windows down. Whenever you're in a car and you're broadcasting, I'm going to give her a tip. Roll your windows up, turn on your air conditioner, and then when you talk, it won't be so bad.
It doesn't matter how she feels. It matters what the law prescribes. And I'm sorry.
I didn't know that the law's been... What is the law prescribing you? Ibuprofen?
The law doesn't have emotion, okay? They don't have emotion, and...
They don't have motion, but then she said emotion.
They don't try to keep things in the courtroom. That's why we have all these less restrictive measures for fair trials, such as change of venue, so you're not locking the public out and violating people's constitutional rights.
Okay, I want you to really think about what she's saying here. I played this on purpose. She's very concerned about people's constitutional rights. But what I want you to look at, obviously, is how selective she is. And while I do that, while I let her talk on that, I will share the stream.
Judges that are getting really overzealous with these non-dissemination orders, which were designed to be limited in scope, and got the court systems that are just really looking like they don't know what the heck they're doing. And that's...
The court system is looking like it doesn't know what the heck it's doing. The court system looks like it doesn't know what the heck it's doing. Betty, I think that more than anything, y'all constantly show that you don't know what you're doing. By the way, this isn't Chronicles of the Shady. That's Chronicles' videos is right here. We're not there yet. Let me see if I can do it like this. Much better. This is from Betty's channel 6 hours ago, something like that.
That's really concerning for me. It really is. And, I mean, I'm not sure. We'll see how it all works out, but I'm not sure.
We know you're not sure. You're never sure. You're the one that claims to be an expert at the law. Let's see what you have to say about it.
I'm hoping they get their stuff together and start running this ship right, because they're going to have...
Yeah, I just started my stream and it wasn't scheduled, Need More Sage. So yeah, I guess the lying really hasn't it?
Problems, and they have enough stuff to be worrying about with 4 victims.
Y'all are, how do you say, you trust in a content creator's words way too much.
They don't need to be worrying about having to be going to court for all this extra stuff that they know they're doing is wrong. At this point, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell the...
It doesn't take a rocket science?
The district court and the magistrate court that you're violating people's constitutional rights.
Okay, I want you to hear how much she lays in thick on the constitutional rights.
It doesn't take a degree to understand what that Supreme Court... That's what I loved about that Supreme Court opinion. It really was. If you took all the citing...
No, it would take a degree in order to understand the law and how it applies. I think it would take a degree. That's why lawyers are such in high demand. That's why they're paid so much money for like even an hour of their work.
The law out, it read very easy and understandable for the lay person. And I like that. It was...
You're not the lay person. You are well below the lay person.
Crystal clear. Absolutely crystal clear.
Hello, Brad. Hey, Sunshine. Sorry, guys. I didn't schedule the stream. So, everybody's going to have to just roll in as it comes. If you're watching the replay, just skip. If you want to skip when I say hi to people, you can. If not, it's up to you. Hey, Michelle, Streamlabs doesn't sell you anything. Those points are free. The points the Streamlabs gives you are free. They're for rolling the slot machine and playing games. Nice fail.
It's all real, yeah, I hear you. It is all real annoying. And that's...
Sorry, Streamlabs, I'm not here to...
the problem. And so...
Y'all are silly. I love it.
So, you know, it seems dubious.
What seems dubious now? Court?
It seems dubious, and I hear you. It is all real annoying, and that's the problem. And so, you know, it seems dubious.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what she's talking about there. We're gonna have to hear after she talks for this one.
It doesn't seem like they're doing it in the spirit of the law.
Okay, she's still talking about the court.
Doing it because they...
Don't worry, she's going to bring me up in just a minute. You'll see why I'm playing this clip.
Feel that it's the best thing to do, despite the law?
No, BHB said she turned blank... Wait, let me say her name right. Blank screen into the FBI, but we'll get to that in a minute.
And that is not... The Constitution...
I mean, you've heard her threaten that like 900 times, the whole FBI thing, right?
It's not up for judge's discretion. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to...
The Constitution is not up to a judge's discretion. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about there.
Court proceedings and a lot of stuff that is up to the judge's discretion.
Okay, so you do understand constitutional rights then, because you sit and you lay it in real thick about constitutional rights. Constitutional right that somebody has to privacy, free speech, that they have to... I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I think that those two are the main ones here. Because, again, the big point with Betty and her buddies, the Heels crew, even though the Heels are scattered all around right now, doesn't mean that they're not still chumming together. Don't get it twisted. Those Heels are just as thick as they've always been. And they want you to care about their constitutional rights. But do they care about anybody's constitutional rights?
But willful violation of the Constitution, that there's no place in a courthouse for that. Willful violation of the Constitution.
Where did that happen? Do you mind telling us? Do you mind being specific? Are you just complaining because you can't have cameras into a certain case because of people like you and how you guys have acted and how you guys spread misinformation and all the stuff like that, right? So you're saying that the court can't protect themselves, right?
And
gotcha.
anybody that reads that Supreme Court opinion can clearly.
Oh, okay, Michelle. I was just shooting back at you. I mean, you took a shot at me. I took a shot at you. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to. I was just playing. I thought we were having fun. I guess I misread the situation.
Clearly see what side that the Supreme Court appears to be on. If all
the way I figure is, if you can come in here and you can take a shot at me, then why can't I just joke back with you? I thought we were joking, but I guess you weren't joking. So
allegations are true and provable, which it is my opinion that it is truth and truthful and provable. So I don't know.
Fruit and vegetable and provable. Gotcha. No. What it says.
How are we doing?
And I apologize. I know there's a little extra Betty jargon in here, but eventually we will get to her talking about us.
In the chat. We're doing okay in the chat? Everybody.
I think she has her own constitution. Hey, Freedom. Good to see you. I think you're right.
Playing nice?
I think she has a constitution that her and her friends get that apply to them. And then when they get angry, when they get mad, they don't have to consider that when they go and take shots at other people, chase other people, look up other people's stuff, and then share it out and lie about it. They don't have to care about anyone's constitutional rights when they're doing things, only when you have to give them something.
Good.
That's a really good way to put it. Freedom said, I think she has her own constitution. That's a wonderful way to put it.
Because we're just kind of driving and, I don't know, I've been trying to get out of the house a little bit more, explore.
Yeah, maybe that'll actually make you a nicer person instead of such an evil person. I think that's what I said in my stream 2 days ago.
Manatee County, I haven't been out in almost a year.
What about that trip you're supposed to be on that everybody paid for? That's what I want to know about. What about that trip?
And I'm going to continue to go out as I reclaim my independence back. And
she's reclaiming her Who took away your independence? What are you talking about? Who took that away? Nobody took that from you.
As we start going down this road that we did not want to go down moving forward. Right now, I'm working on several complaints of creators.
Here it comes. She's finally here. Wonder if she's talking about me.
And those will be going out in the next few weeks. So.
Oh, I can't wait if you're going to try to throw something at me. Because y'all will be the ones paying the lawyer fees. Y'all will be the ones that will you will be the ones that will finally have instead of just getting away with everything that you do, you'll finally have to stand against someone's rights, their constitutional rights, that'll be protected by a lawyer and one that knows what they're doing and is good at what they do. So if you're talking about me, well, oh, how fun that sounds. Yes, I am being sarcastic. It's not fun. See, what you have is a group of creators that they are terrified of being banned. Okay? They're so terrified of being banned that they're trying to use the most extreme tactics to silence the people that are actually saying things that could affect them and what they're doing and in their little game, their LARP, or whatever you want to call it. I call it a LARP. You've got your own name for it. As Freedom said, Freedom put it a really good way, Freedom Believer. But what they do is they try to weaponize private information that they go in and dig up. If it doesn't work, then they try to weaponize it against family members. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was describing they had finally taken an interest, and I won't say who it is, but they had finally taken an interest in what Betty and her friends do on the platform, and they were trying to figure it out. So they asked me to give them an example from, the past, or give them an example of something previous that had happened. So I described a couple things. I talked about how we, like our channel, got started into looking at this whole mess, which was the Marvon fraud raiser. I didn't go into depth there, but I did kind of go into more depth where they had popped up to protest. So I described you remember the protest that Betty and her friends did, where a woman had pulled up in a car, pulled out a bullhorn, and started protesting the protesters. And do you recall how what ended up happening with that? I'm sure you all do. One of her friends ended up assaulting that woman and getting arrested and getting in trouble. Of course, they tried to rip the bullhorn out of her hand. It was, of course, attached to her. It wasn't their property. It really showed how the hypocrisy that, you know, if you have a constitutional right to protest some person, that you really should not have been protesting, because it didn't make sense. You should have been protesting the police, obviously, if you were telling the truth about what you were protesting. Anyway, though, when a group of people come up to protest you, why wouldn't you be supportive of them? Oh, you don't like what I'm doing and you want to protest me? Well, you stand right there and go ahead and do your protest. We're going to stand right here and do our protest. And who knows if somebody will come and protest the protester that's protesting the protester that's protesting. That's not what happened. As you know, violence was used to attack the person that was protesting them. Now, what did Betty do? That's why I'm bringing this up. What did Betty do when that had happened? Did she go out and get angry at her friend? Or, oh, by the way, we have to talk about her friend a little bit before I end this, because they have been like mentioning me or trying to give me some information, so I'm going to respond to that later. Silly, isn't it? I just was notified about this, so hey, might as well say something about it. We'll get into that later. Isn't it, though, just so hypocritical? Because if you really believe in these constitutional rights that allowed you to protest, why in the world do you have some kind of issue with yourselves being protest? You have to support that. If you believe you can sit here and complain about a public court case where you're trying to go in and grab every tiny detail of it and dig down deep into every little detail and throw it out there, then why are you so against creators that talk about you? You have to support creators that talk about you. And I will use an example. This stream, I'm not going to go to the stream on Betty's channel and go through it. But if you do, you'll notice that that stream and several streams from Betty's channel, she's pulling large chunks of video that doesn't belong to her, which I'm fine with. As long as she's doing it under fair use, I'm fine with it, right? But I keep remembering how Betty is basically flipping out and angry because people will do what I'm doing, which is reacting to something she's saying here under fair use. I'm reacting under fair use to what she does. And she's not okay with it, right? She's saying that there's some kind of bad thing that's happened to her. In reality, nothing bad has happened to her if somebody is speaking about her, if someone's giving an opinion on her. Remember, she's world famous, which means she views herself as a public figure. And that's the key indicator that kind of changes things up the scale, whether someone's a public figure or not, how you can talk about them, how you can't talk about them. And now a YouTuber, that's someone choosing to put themselves on the platform. Even if you're not a public figure, you're choosing to put yourself into the possibility of being one, which is completely different from people that aren't YouTubers at all. They're just private citizens. So that I would then ask Betty, how appropriate is it for you and your friends to target people like that and harass them? I would think that you would be considering their constitutional rights and wouldn't be doing that, right? They think that they are threatening. They think that they are anything more. They think they're putting on a visage, this like fake mask, this little, you know, that little thing that goes down in front of your face that you can see through, but it makes it hard to see your face. They think they're putting this thing on their face to cloud what people can see about them. We know that you're terrified. We know that your friends are terrified of being banned. That's why you've gone so far, you and your friends, to try to do what you've been doing lately. But she's about to go in and give details right now. And soon as I heard this, I hit pause and said, here we go. This is going into the stream. Let's go. So let's do it.
You know, this is not.
All hail Uni. Oh, heavens, y'all. Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush, Kathy. I'm just kidding.
This is not going away for them. And while
do I look different, though? Did I look like I got some sun? Do I look a little better? I trimmed my beard just a little bit. Probably took about half an inch off of it. You know, I got sick of it getting in the way when I was in the sun, so I trimmed it up.
They're, you know, sitting there.
Oh my gosh, now Sonny's doing it. Stop that. No, don't stop. Please stop that. Don't stop. Don't stop. I'm just kidding. This is a joke. Okay, I got to hear what she says here. This is the important part.
Not taking this stuff seriously. It's going to be taken seriously sooner or later because I'm not the only one. Obviously, somebody before me has already started filing complaints and getting those lawsuits out.
Yeah, somebody before you. See how she won't, you know, she's not brave enough, honest enough, or straightforward enough to bring up the fact that it's her friend. She's not under any obligation not to bring up his name. She doesn't have an attorney telling her not to bring up his name, so why aren't you? Why are you being vague? I encourage you to waste your money. I encourage you, if you're gonna do it, to keep harassing. If you think I don't know, if you think that we don't know what you guys have been doing, we do. So I don't know if you remember slipping up and admitting to it or not, but I actually did a video and showed that. So you're not intimidating anybody.
I'm starting to file those complaints and getting these lawsuits out. There's a few other creators that are going to be filing these complaints and getting these lawsuits out. So these creators...
This is about the 185th time you've said this. Do I believe you? Not at all. I don't believe you one bit. Do I think that you're trying to talk about me? Not completely. I know you are talking about me, but I think what you're doing is trying to give a message to many people is what you're doing, especially people that you're mad at. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know why she's mad at blank screen. I guess we'll find out.
They're going to have a big mess on their hands here in just a little bit. And there's not...
No, you've got a big mess on your hands. None of us have any mess on our hands. Y'all have mess on your hands. Because y'all don't have anyone that you're talking to that can look at the situation and tell you what's going on. Nobody. No qualified individual. Y'all just do everything yourselves. You're going to walk in there and you're going to fill out a piece of paper and you're going to go in and file it. And everybody's going to look at it and shake their heads. Like, what in the world is this person even doing? Why does this look like this? Why does this say these things? This is all wrong. This looks stupid. Problem is, when someone responds to you, it's not going to look that way. It's going to look the right way. It's going to look professional. So, I don't know. Something tells me you're bluffing, because you do lie a lot. You lie constantly. You never address anything that you lie about, ever. Nothing. Unlike most other creators that do address things they're accused of lying about, you, on the other hand, won't address things you're proven to lie about. So, I would love to know that you're telling the truth or to know that you're bluffing, but in reality, I think you're just running your mouth.
Not a whole heck of a lot they can do, because even if they try to delete these videos and try to destroy evidence, we can get it from Google directly.
No, see, you'd need to delete it first. All right, you'd need to download it first. I'm sorry. You would need to. Are you telling me that you are thinking about? Hold on. Wait. You already said that you're about to file, and you're going to say that you don't even already have them downloaded. That you would have to petition Google to take deleted videos and somehow like undelete them or something. Is that what you're saying? Well, you damn well can't be talking about me here, because I don't delete any of my videos. I haven't, and I'm not going to. I've noticed that you delete videos, though. I've noticed that people that you hang with delete videos constantly. So is this just a hypocritical projection of yours, or is this just you talking out your ass? I guess we'll find out.
So and you guys know it's starting to happen, because you already heard about JLR. There's more coming out. And like I said, in the next week...
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
We're going to be dropping a couple lawsuits ourselves that are going to be around the country. and we're going to keep going down this road this year. This is the year of lawsuits. I told you guys that at the beginning of the year. Everybody.
Do you have to pay for yours? You don't get to go and lie to the court and say that you are indigent, do you? You have to pay for everything that you file, right? Right? You don't get to like file to the court that you're indigent or something. I don't know what word to use. I think that's it, right? How it's called like in papyrus or something. I have no clue what the name is. I don't know anything legal. I tell you guys this all the time. I'm not a lawyer. But you want us to believe that it's the year of the lawsuits. That's what you want us to believe. I don't even know. You guys don't even tell the truth about what you do. When you go out to do something, you guys don't even tell the truth. You constantly just lie. So why would you think that people would listen to what you're saying here and find some kind of, what do you want to say, like assurance in it? I don't think it's the year of the lawsuits for you guys. I think this is the year of you and some of your friends trying to do everything in your power to prevent you guys from being deleted off of YouTube. You being deleted. Because you guys already know that YouTube has been looking into your community. You guys already know that you guys have video after video after video after video of you breaking terms of service. We've shown many of them, just like we did with Molly. We let you guys know that, you know, it would behoove you to stop doing those things. But in fact, you've done the opposite. You have turned it up to 1 million. So, I don't know. I don't know, Betty Boop. How awful must one be to actually defend a scumbag like that? That makes her even worse than him. Whoa, you have no idea how many that are and how many that have. Right? It's almost like, you know, people have had to ask themselves, is the community that people have been a part of, have they been like this the whole time? Or is this just something they're doing to try to jump on a bandwagon, right?
He tries to say I lie about everything. I don't lie about anything.
All right, are you talking about me? Because you just said he, but you didn't. You won't name who you talk about. I could think of 100 creators that talk about how you lie about everything. Am I the only he in the group? Let me scan my brain here. Yeah, I think I'm the only he. I don't know. Is there another he? Tell me. Oh, no, there is. The Glarer. No? Is that his name? I might have said his name wrong. There are other men that say that you lie about everything, but the problem is for you, those people actually put your lies on the screen. We show where you're lying. It's not. I don't know how you can say that people are saying that you are lying about anything. What we have proven is that you lie every time you talk. Every single time you open your mouth, every single time you talk about a subject, you lie. You can just take what you're talking about and compare it to what's there. I mean, I could go back to Idaho. I'm tired of doing that, honestly. It's boring to even respond to this.
As a matter of fact, I'm so brazen to come and tell people what's going to happen.
Hello, BCP.
And tell them, and I give them and that's what's so great about it.
Grace, I'm with you. I'm with you, Grace, 100%.
Because when I go to court, it's like, hey, they've had 9 months. I've been telling them 9 months. They've acknowledged it on this video that they heard me and they were laughing about it and you know, making fun of me because I said this. And
because you said what? You don't even make sense when you talk. You skip around when you speak. You don't speak in any direct way. Half the time, we have to go back and listen to you 3 times just to figure out what you are talking about, and it's not our fault. You have the option to actually be specific when you talk. We don't even know exactly who you're talking about.
And we've given them more than enough time to fix the conduct, and they're choosing not to fix the conduct.
Actually, no, it's the other way around. Is this like projection time? So you're saying you've given all of us time to fix the conduct. What conduct are you talking about? Are you talking about us playing one of your videos and reacting to it? Or playing one of your videos and then showing a different video that proves you're lying? I mean, it's the thing. When you talk about conduct, you're talking about maybe a specific thing that someone's doing as opposed to an entire you know, shtick from somebody or an entire thing that someone does. Conduct is very specific, in my opinion.
Here in the United States, there's a few things that you need to know.
Oh, I'd love for you to tell me what I need to know. It boggles my mind how we can sit and pull the YouTube TOS and show it to you and show you where you're at. Like, okay, how about anything that you've done that's even remotely like what Molly did to get banned, which was doxing? Anything that you've done that's even remotely like that. Okay? We've pulled the terms of service. We've shown it specifically, and you still act as if you and your friends getting mad at someone else and digging up their info and sharing it around, you still say it's not doxing when it absolutely is. You still act as if you targeting family members of someone isn't doxing when it absolutely is. You think that I could just go on for an hour? Okay, good, I won't. So why haven't you updated the things that people factually show that you're constantly lying about? And I know you get mad because we say that you're lying. Well, that's why we say it. You acknowledge that you have heard us, even though sometimes you try to claim that you don't listen to us and you never watch us. Now, are you starting to see where people constantly say that you lie? Have you ever looked at your own behavior for even a split second, even a split millisecond, talking about how everybody else acts? You should really be looking at the way you act.
First of all, we do have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, but that is limited in nature.
How is it limited in nature? Let's see if you know.
What do I mean by that? You can't go into a movie theater and scream fire or bomb or something like that. That's a felony, right?
Yeah, just like you can't look up my family members' addresses and share it around and then go around and say that you're not doxing. Right?
Well, you also can't use your First Amendment right to harass people.
And harassment is seeking people out, is what harassment is. Harassment, let me give you some direct examples of harassment, and I will use my own behavior on my very cheap and very nasty looking billboard. Okay, hold on, I need a different song, man. I gotta, there it is. Okay, so harassment. So, what do? I do a video where I give my opinion, or I react to something and give my opinion. Or I prove something by playing certain factual pieces of what's said and what's not by the video. But either way, that's looking at content or looking at something that's been publicly posted and watching it or reacting to it. That's what I'm doing. In fact, you can go through all of my videos. That is all of them. One of the key factors in my video, since you're talking about me, is that I pull from things that you guys choose to put out. I don't seek you out. I don't go and record you. I don't go and follow you around. I don't look things up about you. I don't do anything that, shouldn't be done. That's called me respecting your rights, literally, in my video. So what do? Betty Boop, BB, what do? You look up people's information. You lie about that information if you can't find something that you want to use to try and take from a person's stuff that you've dug on, which you going in to dig on them is harassment from the start. The digging from the start is harassment. If it's done for a malicious reason, if it's done for out of anger, if it's done because you're mad at that person, then it's already harassment. You going in and just spending your time digging and digging and digging on a person. Let's use me as an example because you've done this with me. When you don't find something that you can use, you and your friends then go and lie about that stuff. And I mean, it's just obvious that you do that. If anyone wants to go and look at what they've put out. Like, I'll give you an example. looking at a family member's back. I have a video of you, for fuck's sake, saying you have no problem going after somebody's mom and dad and grandma if they piss you off. That's harassment. You are harassing not only the person that you're angry at by targeting those family members. That is the consequence you're trying to give them because they did something you didn't like. Then, to go a step further, when you take what you find when digging on them and then you lie about it and you try to share the, you know, little bits of truth mixed with these lies, it's just you further harassing, because now who's targeting who here, right? Is it a clip channel or myself? UNIRock clip channel. How about other, let's use commentator, because you got either a clip channel or a commentator. So you got clip channels and commentators. They do videos, reactions, whatever, whether it's live or uploaded. Those things are taking what you're putting out publicly, reacting, discussing based on what they want to show, not tracking you down, not going after you, not doing anything to harass whatsoever. No harassment at all here. You, on the other hand, every step of what you do once you get mad at somebody is harassment. So, I mean, I don't know if you just think that you could just lie and lie and lie in order to build yourself some defense for your behavior, but that's, again, what you're doing. And that's pretty ironic, because you just complained because people say you're a liar. You complain about it. You are a liar.
To humiliate people nonstop, to cause business problems, and to...
Whoa. Humiliate people nonstop. How is it humiliating to react to what you're publicly putting out? If someone's reacting to what you're publicly putting out and they're not lying about you, they're not, I don't know, being malicious, they're not being nasty or any of those things, then how is that harassment? You're saying that if somebody talks about you, it's harassment. It's not. That's where you are again wrong. That's why, and you not being able to understand this kind of fundamental thing is why people will say that if you can't understand this, then how are you understanding anything about the courts? How are you reporting anything if you can't understand these basic ethical questions? Is it harassment for someone to go live and talk about what they see out on YouTube in a certain space? It's not. Pending that, as long as they're not doxing, as long as they're not, you know, stalking information out, following people, doing those things, they're staying in their office and they are giving their opinion or they're watching what's going on. That's not harassment, Betty. You think you can just lie. This is you defaming and lying on the clip channels and the commentators. It's what you built your entire logic, your entire logical basis on, a lie.
Cause defamation, slander, and libel. Those are First Amendment. You have your First Amendment rights.
So what about the lies that y'all tell? People asked you for a long time to take down the video where you said that the audio you had was from the night of the Idaho situation. How is that not, like, I mean, do I even have to say this, for God's sake? It's almost like, what makes them so brazen to be able to say these things constantly?
Right, but you also can be sued for grievances, right, for torts.
Sure, someone could, if they defamed, if they libeled, if they did something wrong. Again, though, someone who is doing those things thinking that they're going to file a lawsuit, that's what you just said. You were just talking about suing commentators and creators. You heavily implied me, by the way, talking about filing lawsuits when you're the one defaming and lying and playing this game. I challenge you to go to a single bit of content that I have and show your audience where I have done anything malicious to you, anything that's a lie, anything that's not, you know, taking what you're publicly posting and giving an opinion, which, by the way, is our right. That's a right we have. You know, those rights that you keep acting like we need to consider. you're ignoring the rights of other people. You're doing that. Where is the clip channel that clips you, or the commentator that's talking about you? Let's take the one that you hate the most, Toasty. Where does Toasty do any of these things at all, in the past or now? Never. Where have I done any of these things to you? Never. Where has any other commentator? Never. What about the clip channels? The only thing I can think of was one accident. A clip channel put out a clip of you talking about that thing about you popping kids on the butt, but that was immediately fixed. You have no argument. Your argument is nothing more than you sitting in a car lying to your audience.
Law.
I know, she's going to get mad about that.
And when you cause personal and professional damage to somebody, you're on, and you have been known to lie, blatantly lie. You are, you're responsible for that.
You are, right? You're looking in a mirror while you say this, right? You're looking in a mirror while you say this. If you had a friend that was purposely doing that, you would expect that friend to pay damages, is what you're saying. Right? If you ever did that, you would pay damages to somebody, is what you're saying. No, that's what you're saying. You definitely can't be saying that it only points one way and you all are the gods that are exempt. If I do it, I would be. If Toasty did it, she would be. If one of your friends did it, they would be. And if you did it, you would be. It applies to everybody. Okay, good. Well, I think everybody out there knows who's doing what in this situation.
And as you see, there is a lawsuit going on. I doubt. It sounds like there's another one.
Did you hear that the Supreme Court voted not to hold YouTube or Twitter responsible for really bad content on it? I kind of did. I've heard murmurs about it. I haven't heard everything. I haven't studied it. I didn't, read it myself, is what I'm saying. But I've heard people talk about something like that. I don't know the extent of it, but I think I know why. And I think it's because YouTube and Twitter are considered, they're given the protection from publishing, right? They're given a type of publisher protection, if you get my drift, right?
Because based upon a tweet, it looks like somebody's researching in Ohio. I don't know what creator lives in Ohio.
You're lying right here. You've already admitted that you know I'm in Ohio. You do know what creator is in Ohio. See, you can't sit and lie constantly and then cry just because I'm willing to sit here and listen to you lie and then call you a liar. You can't cry about that. If you want to sit and lie and say things like, I don't know what creators from Ohio, she's talking about me. That's why I said this whole little thing was about me. I don't know what creators from Ohio. Yes, you do. You admitted it like, what, a week or two ago? I forget how long I had to not upload for y'all because I was really busy the whole time. But it was at least 2 weeks ago, a week to 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5. You know what I'm saying, about a week or two ago. She admitted she knew I was in Ohio. You and JLR shared the private information of my family. So you want to sit here and act like you're not a doxer. You are. You want to act like you respect people's right to privacy. You don't. Okay?
But if it's somebody that's been after me, I'll probably be following right behind that as well.
Oh, I can't wait. You are trying to pretend to your audience like I'm scared of you or something. I'm not scared of you. I have not been scared by a single one of your stupid little tactics. I'm not going to back down from it. Me having to, go to my council and be down for, 5 days or whatever, not including weekends, of course, but being down for, X amount of time while I go to my council and get everything handled is not me being scared of you. If you want to jump on in there, you go ahead and do it. That's your, you get to make that choice, but don't act like I'm not going to be winning and getting all of my expenses paid for, because we will. But remember now, what you're trying to say is that if a court would order you to pay somebody that you sued frivolously or that you sued for harassment purposes, if you lost and you had to pay someone's court expenses, you're saying that you would obey that. You wouldn't dodge it. You wouldn't run from it. You would immediately do it, right? That's what you're saying. Because I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if I believe you. See how tough they try to act? They want to put up this little game when if you just look at the tweets that are put out and you gotta, look in between the doxing tweets that all these creators online are trying to lie and say don't exist. And you got to look in between the doxing tweets of my family members that people are trying to claim don't exist when they were publicly posted. But you're trying to basically look between those and you'll see that you've got these people that are trying to say that they want to go for a default. They claim that they just don't know that you're supposed to give somebody X amount of time to respond to a C&D or X amount of time to respond to a lawsuit, and they want to act as if that it should happen in 3 days or something. Do you see how stupid these people are? Unprofessional, dishonest, and you think that you're going to act that way and that me or other creators on the platform are going to just cower to you, is what you think. So I'm supposed to be looking forward to this lawsuit. So how about I do what I did for the last person who's tried to do this? You have a direct line of communication to me, just like someone else did. So are you going to send me this lawsuit, or are you just going to, play a game where you have to harass my family? I'd love to know.
So,
remember, Betty, everything you say about what another person has to do in regards to rights and the law also applies to you and your friends, right?
This is not going to end pretty. This is going to be...
No, it's not going to end pretty at all. Not going to end pretty. It will for me. It will for the people that you try to bully. It will for the people that you guys dox. It'll end pretty for them. But it's not going to end pretty for the people that are lying and defaming. It's not going to end pretty for the people that are using these kind of procedures to harass. It's not going to end pretty for them. So whoever it is that's doing the lying and the defaming, that's the one that it's gonna, not be pretty for. Whoever it is that's using these very serious means to harass is the one it's not gonna end pretty for.
And we're gonna have all their little tentacles, their haters over here causing massive problems because they don't like the fact that we are taking and reclaiming our rights back. And
oh, that's how you're reclaiming your rights back? You haven't done anything. Why is it that you pretend like you've done something? You haven't done anything. So when are you going to do this? You're going to give us a date? You want to give us a time? You want to make sure that we're ready for it? Is that what you want to do? I mean, not too much longer. I'm hurrying, I promise. Oh, but you grab everything you want, man. Go ahead. It's all good.
These creators accountable for their conduct and what they've said.
Okay, Betty, well, I just want to make sure you're saying that you're going to hold these creators, and you're heavily implying me, but you're going to hold these creators accountable for the conduct and what they've said. I'm just going to make sure that I lay it right out there. Since y'all are talking about this, I'll just go ahead and say this. I'm going to make sure that I hold not just you, but anyone else accountable for what they have done and said that doxed, harassed, that lied and defamed me, and including family members of mine. But I'm not the one bluffing because I've already done it. I've already went and done it. I've already taken care of my part. My part is paying counsel so that they do it, giving them everything and paying. I've already done it. So, again, if you think I care to add you in there, that's fine. You just need to let me know. I've been upfront about this the entire time. I let Molly know this when she threatened to sue me. Remember? I've let all these other people know this when they threatened it. I've let vet bashers know that it's going to happen to them. Right? So if you're going to go live and you're going to play this little game, then let's just get you added in now. Let's just take care of it. I want it done with. I want it resolved. I want this to be done. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm not cowering. You know how to do this? You know how to take care of this, right? You're saying that you know how? You're not going to have to get an attorney. You're just going to do it yourself? Well, let's do it.
Most of us that are going to be taking these people to court, I try to stick to the facts. We don't go over there disrupting things. Most of these creators I wouldn't even know about if they weren't constantly harassing.
See, and this is how you know she's guilty of something. Because you just admitted, Betty, I have a video. I was just, at a friend's house where they were watching it saying, what is this? Is this woman crazy? Is this woman out of her mind? Like, why is she like sitting here like yelling and screaming that she's going to get people and she's going to go after their parents and grandparents? You don't get to sit down and say those kind of things and then act like this. Because let's just pretend that Betty and I went to court. What are you going to play in court that I've said and done? Any of my shows? Go through all of them. Put it on your... Go. Pull my clips like I do you and put it up on your channel and show where I've done something wrong. Oh, wait. You would have already done it if I did, because I haven't. But how many times have I been sitting here playing you, literally, doxing someone, yelling and threatening somebody with personal information that you have gotten about them and all this stuff? Whatever happened to your little black binder when you were holding up that black binder talking about suing people months and months and months ago? You haven't. I'm not like the other people that you've bullied. I'm not like the other people that you've gone after. I actually answer it. I actually respond. I know you won't tell the truth about that. That's fine. Everybody's going to know really soon, so... Yeah, you want to try to capitalize on this whole thing. You're just doing what all these other creators have done. Trying to capitalize on this drama and this whole thing. So please, go. Do it. Get it going. You're going to miss out. You're going to miss the big bada boom.
Harassing us and me. I would not know who they were. Not like I went after them. So...
Yes, you did. You admitted to it. You literally admitted it. You're in denial, bro. You are in such denial. This is why you're so cringy. You get up here and you act this way and you think you just have some fucking nerve, man. I haven't gone after anybody. I have videos of you literally admitting to doing it after you did it, right? I'm not going to do anything wrong. I'm just doing my content. No, you aren't just doing your content. You did do it. Like, you did it, then you went and yelled about it. You had a freaking meltdown not even a couple nights ago. Now you're back to driving in your car, and the only thing you can do while staring at that phone is sit and talk about how you aren't doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. I'm the victim. It's called DARVO. Deny. It's exactly what you're doing. Attack. That's what you did not long ago. And then you reverse the victim offender role, which is what you're doing right now. You want to turn the people that you dox, the people that you stalk, the people that you harass, the people that you go after into the bad guys. It typically will happen after that phase where you're so cocky and confident. You get super angry during that phase. You are so cocky and confident. I'm going to go after your grandmother, your mother, your father, every member of your family if I have to. You get really mad and you look at your audience. Go make their life hell. You tell your audience to go make your enemies' lives hell. We have all this video, Betty. But then you're in a car, after acting this way, you are in a car and driving, and you've got your phone up on your dashboard. Okay, you're on this long drive, and all that goes through your head is how you just have to desperately convince everybody that you're not doing what you told everybody that you did. You're not doing what you said you'd already done, and you're really the victim. You guys just try to make it more and more interesting every second. But in reality, you're not trying to make it interesting. This is your coping mechanism. This is your defense. You're worried. This is a literal result of you worrying about what you did. It's in your head. The more you try and relax and drive and enjoy yourself, you're being constantly reminded not only that you have, by the way, done... How many hundreds of things do we have clips of that you've done that would get anybody banned from this platform? Just let me know that, right? You just did several things that should get you banned from this platform a week or two ago towards my family. And now you want me to know that you want to sue me. Okay, well, I think the first thing that YouTube needs to do for you and your friends is to have a lawyer that has the ability to pressure YouTube Legal to actually watch the videos of you and your friends doing what you do. I think that's step one. Step one right there, right? I mean, my audience might think the opposite of me. I'll ask them in a second. This damn monitor will stop falling over. I think step one should literally be that YouTube Legal is demanded to answer for why you're allowed to do the things you've done on this platform. Now, all of my content is right there. YouTube Legal is more than welcome to comb every second of it. Okay? Are you okay with YouTube Legal combing your content? I don't even want them to comb every second of your content. I can just give them 50 examples. And you know, you want to sit and talk about how I pursue you. I could have already had you banned. I could have already had all your friends banned. I could have had Molly banned long before she got banned. But I was actually busy doing a show. I'm actually busy doing content, not going after you. But if you want to keep defaming me and coming after me, lying on me, playing this game, trying to feed in, I get it. You and your buddies used some of the creators in the community, the weak ones, the ones that you knew that would support you guys, if it would get them a few clicks and views. And you use those creators to get a bunch of drama going. And now you guys have sat here and inundated yourselves with the drama to the point that now you're cocky. Now you're cocky. You think you can just go out and play this game. I see. I see.
Obviously, they have put a target.
Jessica says, I honestly think they are picking on you for petty BS reasons for content. When they claim to be were doxxed, Uni supported them without any questions, yet look how they treat him. Oh, I know, Jessica. Do you know what those creators are trying to say? That I wasn't doxxed. They're just lying. They're saying this while their hero is doxing on his public platforms. They literally are trying to go on their channels and say, he wasn't doxxed, while ignoring what he has just been posting the whole time publicly. When I had a couple of their friends come to me because they liked me. They sat down with me to talk to me, and they were saying to me, I don't understand. Why do they think, why did they, I'm going to say they, so that I don't clue you in on the gender of the person, but why did they think you weren't doxxed? And I'll say, well, you need to tell me that because, you know, you're coming to me from them. Well, they say yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, well, go to Twitter and look at this, this one account and just scroll down and tell me what you see. And they are just terrified. They're just aghast. Because anyone that's saying I wasn't doxxed is lying to everybody. Anyone that's saying that they didn't do it from the beginning all the way up until now is lying. They're just lying. If they're going to say that I didn't tell them that, they're lying. I did tell them that. And so you are right, Jessica. So I told you guys the whole time that this is what would happen with the community, that when the community faced Molly being banned, they would start to eat each other alive and attack each other, that Molly was right. It's just that we had a hope that in this community would be stronger than to fall into that game. We were completely wrong in the fact that they, the whole time, needed Molly. They were mad that Molly got banned. They were angry, and they basically blamed me, which I guess, you know, why not? I was the one that told them how you get YouTube to defend the people that are being doxxed, and it worked, did it not? The minute that they all went and did what I told them to do, tag team YouTube when they're doing it, and they will go look and handle it. It happened the first time you had, you know, people from that community do that. So yeah, they are blaming me for Molly being banned because those creators that actually went and posted to Team YouTube took my advice. Okay? Now, after Molly's banned, they're angry. And who are they going to take it out on? Well, of course, me. I mean, we've told you that from the beginning, that that's a phase of the story, part of the story. This is in the content I've done. You can literally, from the beginning all the way up to the end, right before Molly got banned, I was saying it way more often than anything else. I was making the argument a lot, knowing what was coming. I've seen the clips. People have pulled the clips. It's there. And what I'm saying this for is, I didn't predict the future. I know that this is how these communities end up operating. That's how they end up working. The worst thing is that the community was reliant on Molly. Literally reliant on Molly. And they just didn't know what to do once Molly was banned. So what you ended up seeing in that community was a lot of, not all, I'm not talking about all of them, but a lot of those creators, you know, defaulting to, well, what's the current thing right now? What's everybody doing right now? Oh, okay, let's tragedy pimp a dox. Let's tragedy pimp Uni and family members of his being doxed. And they did, by definition. Literally by definition. They tragedy pimped a dox. So why is it that they continue to try to make an argument that I wasn't doxxed? Because if they acknowledge the truth, by the way, that truth isn't just proven through what happened. From the beginning, I had said they were out on other social media continuing the doxing of my family and trying to dox myself, as in lying about things about me. Oh, he's got a record. Oh, he's not a veteran. And yes, this is exactly what's been happening while I was, you know, not uploading. It was happening a lot. When I came back, it happened a lot, and I probably wouldn't even doubt that it's happened in the last 2 days, you know? Sonny says, I remember you saying it because I didn't believe it. And that's the thing. It's just one of those things you got to learn. It's just one of those sucky parts of these kind of communities. It's one of the sucky parts of it. It typically relates to how, quote unquote, dramatic a community is. So if you're in a community that's more science related, yeah, it won't happen as much, but it happens. We watched it happen even in a science community. If it's a community that debunks conspiracy theories, it really shouldn't happen at all. But we watched that happen about, what was it, beginning of 2019. We watched that happen. The end of 18, beginning of 19, we watched it happen. We watched it happen in the middle of 2020. It's the debunking community that debunked flat earthers. We watched it happen. I mean, I could go over every example. It would just bore you, but it's happened every time. This will be the time it happened the biggest. And ironically, this is what's super ironic about that community. This should have been the community where it happened the least, right? This community was literally against people taking some kind of thing that's considered, you know, illegal, wrong, or bad, or whatever, which is, you know, targeting people's families, bringing families into it, going after people that are completely innocent. You know, this is what we've been calling out the whole time. Molly, you're out on protesting this woman. That woman is the grandmother of who people think did it. You shouldn't be yelling at her. She's dealing with, we know she didn't kill the baby, right? We knew that the grandmother didn't kill the baby. So while that woman is grieving the loss of this infant, which has factually happened, you should not be out there doing this to her. Number one. Number two, because she's the grandmother, you shouldn't be doing it. Number three, you're also torturing the entire community of innocent people that live near this person. And we spoke against this along with all of these other channels that decided to tragedy pimp my family and myself being doxxed by certain people. And while it's not a comparison, right? Somebody tragedy pimping a baby passing is not a comparison of tragedy pimping. It's not a equal degree of tragedy pimping. It is still at its heart tragedy pimping. So when I go and upload the videos and show people this community is nothing more than a very small group of good creators, and the majority of those other creators are tragedy pimpers, just as bad as the heels on the ground crew, they're going to hate my guts forever. They are going to hate me forever because I have to go tell the truth about what they did. They tragedy pimped what happened to me and my family for content because they didn't have Betty to pick on. I'm sorry, Molly to pick on, and Betty isn't big enough to pick on. She's not worthy. You don't get a bunch of views when you talk about Betty. You don't get a bunch of views when you talk about the other members of the tragedy pimping crew because they don't, it's like, you know, what, 20,000 subs? They don't even have 20,000 subs. Their channels are all pretty dead, honestly. So, you know, looking from a view, a view standpoint, you know, their channels are dead. But still, if you really are against tragedy pimping, that's not what matters. What should matter is responding to the things you need to respond to, you know, putting out what you need to put out. Unfortunately, that community fell into the drama pit that they had said they were above. They fell into the tragedy pimping that they claimed they were above, you know? It's a pattern that takes time to actually see. Well, true. It is. It really is. Sunshine, we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look. We just have a few other things to do before we can get updated on old Justin, but we are. I want to get everyone updated on every tragedy pimp that we've looked at before we start looking at other things. So that's probably what we're going to do while we get back into active streaming, because we're not in active streaming right now. Yesterday, I ended up getting really busy and I didn't get a stream. So I've only streamed, what, one time since I've been back? 2 times since I've been back? I'd have to look, but, you know, we're still coming off of our break because I need to be streaming back to back. Let me look. 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 4 days ago. What? Not yesterday, day before yesterday. And then the day before that, we did a video. And then 4 days, and then 7 days, and then that was our gap. Okay. So we've had we got to respond to, first of all, 7 days ago, I did a, hey, I don't have to stay. I finally get to come back video 7 days ago, all right? And then I spent a couple days just kind of making sure people knew that Nonsense is an absolute pathological lying narcissist. Showed the proof of that. Yesterday, we kind of got caught up on a little bit of what Betty was up to, but we needed to do another. I'm not yesterday, the day before yesterday, because yesterday I didn't stream. So, you know, this is all we've really done. We really need, you know, to get back into what we typically do. But again, Betty's talking about suing me here, so I just want to make sure I respond to her. Let's get this done because it's boring.
On me, not the other way around, even though they're trying to proclaim that we're doing all this stuff to them, but we never even...
No, I didn't proclaim anything. I proved it. You admitted it, and now you're trying to gaslight. And that's why you're called a liar. Trying to change the past with lies. That's why you're a liar.
I knew who they were until they started attacking us, and then, you know, getting their...
Nobody attacked you. Who attacked you? How is us looking at what you're publicly doing and showing that you're lying about the Idaho case, showing that you lied about the audio you put out, showing that you lied about Koberger being in a field when it obviously wasn't him. It was a picture of that definitely was someone else, showing that once these things were shown, you still left the videos up. You just went and changed your title because you wanted to keep the views on that video. These aren't attacks, Betty. You're doing the attacking when you go and dig someone's background up with your friends. You are doxing them then. I get it. There's some really dumb creators out there who want to try and defend these people by arguing a different definition, a different point to doxing, right? They want to go in and try to claim a legal definition to doxing when we're talking about YouTube. We are talking about terms of service. We're not even going to that level of legal. We're up here with terms of service. Legal terms of service doxing is above legal doxing because they need to make sure that the legal crimes that of doxing aren't happening on their platform. So how do you do that? You take the law about doxing and you make your platform's rules above it so that if you dox, before you break the law doxing, you're going to break the terms of service first and get kicked off the platform so that YouTube doesn't have the issue of these laws being broken on their platform. And that's how it goes for just about everything else. Just about every rule that YouTube tries to make from a safety standpoint, from even a non-safety standpoint, but a just picking on standpoint or something like that, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? They make sure that, you know, the baseline of doxing in legal terms and criminal terms, their terms of service is going to catch it before it goes there. You get what I'm saying? I'm sitting here talking about when you're doxing on YouTube, when you're going out and taking a person talks about the content that you've publicly posted, and they've talked about the things that are public, that are out there, that are on the platform, right? Then you find out, oh, this person is basically showing where I'm lying about Idaho here, and here, and it's bad for my business. So I'm going to go and dig their background. I'm going to go then, and when that doesn't do anything to them, I'm going to go and dig their mom and dad and then other family members' backgrounds. And then we're going to post it all over social media and other places. And then we're going to get the YouTube creators that we are working with to go live and say that it's not doxing Uni, when it absolutely is. Those same creators have called out Molly for doing 1,000 times less and straight said it was doxing, and you know it, and I know it, and we've seen it, and we've watched it. We've all been here. We've all seen it happen, right? So it's just a way to defend. It's a way to create. It's a way to defend their community. They're trying to draw a line in the sand. Our community includes the tragedy pimps. right? That's why we don't get our channels taken down. We don't get them coming after us because we make sure to call them out, but we play by their rules. And if you notice, why is it that none of them, up until Dietz, was it Dietz that did that banger video and ended up getting like completely attacked nonstop and doxxed for it? When Dietz was attacked, when they went after Dietz's family, they didn't, by the way, they were wrong. They didn't really have Dietz, but the person who they thought was Dietz, they went after that person's like uncles and moms and dads. It was doxing then, wasn't it? Okay, good. Then I've made my argument. They know that they doxed us. Me and my family, I mean. They know it. They've argued those same conditions as doxing a million times. Again, they're just trying to basically protect their little tragedy pimpin' content crew, knowing that I had said they were next. This all started when I had said that Betty and her little buddy was next. I said, YouTube is going to be looking at your channels the same way that they looked at Molly's. That's when this all started. You all know it. I know it. Everybody that's been around here knows it. To think it's any less than that, you just have to be ridiculous.
Their audience to attack us, and they did it all through lies and manipulation. So
why don't you prove it? I prove when you lie. You won't even show a thing I've said, yet you're trying to insinuate that I sent my audience after you. Are you talking about someone else? I guess she could be talking about somebody else now. You know, that's what she does. She brought me up. She was talking about me, but God knows if between when she brought me up to now, she didn't skip over and now she's talking about blank screen or someone else. Who knows?
So it's one of those things that I just think that they're going to try to start screaming victim when, let's face it, you can go through my videos, and the only time I've ever done anything is I'm a one and done kind of person.
Excuse me? So now you're going to pretend like you didn't admit to what you did. You didn't scream for your audience to go make our lives hell. That didn't happen, right, Betty? All the video evidence that we have means nothing. All the video evidence that you don't have about me means everything, right? Not going to work. Lies don't work. Lies are just lies.
You come and attack me and attack me and attack me and attack me. I'm going to come out. I'm going to defend myself.
You didn't defend yourself at all. Going after somebody's parents and going after someone's family members and lying about someone's, you know, YouTube channels, lying about them as a person, that's not defending yourself. That's the harassment. That's the pursuing a person. That is the targeting of a person. That is the attacking a person. Nice try. Not going to work.
I'm going to drop it. And that's what...
You didn't drop anything. You didn't drop anything. You just admitted it. You just admitted not even... let's see here. Would have been 12... some, you know, 10, 15 minutes ago that you're not dropping anything. So what do you... Now you're lying again. You just can't stop lying. You just talk. You're just emotionally responding. You know that I'm right about the amount of times you and the people around you have blatantly broken terms of service. Now, you don't even have those videos deleted because I just checked. All those terms of service bios are still on your channel. Let me look really quick one more time. Because it was a few days ago when I looked, but... Yep. See. Oh. No, you have been deleting videos. Hold on, let me see when. Okay, I got them all archived. It wasn't recently, at least. I guess it was a couple months ago you deleted some videos. I don't know if that's relative to this. I'm not sure.
You have ever seen go on in my chat. So you can even go back and look at what we've talked about. I don't delete my videos, no matter what they say. You can always...
Actually, you can go to Social Blade and look. You have deleted videos, but I don't think it's recently, so I'm not going to say you've been doing it.
You see if somebody carves something out because it has a little dash.
No, that's not how it works. Because if you have a day when you get 100,000 views and you delete 50,000, it shows a plus. It still shows a positive. That's not how... Betty, see, this is what gets me. You have to look at total views to know if somebody has deleted videos. That's how you can tell. Total views. If their total views keep going up every time they gain views, it's a way to tell, because still they could be deleting like a video a day. If they want to make it look like they're not deleting videos, they can. Most of these people don't know that. They just try to kind of mix it and hide it in there. But anyway, I don't care. Like I said, the last time I checked, which was a few days ago, you still have the majority of all of your TOS, major TOS violations on your channel.
It's not a full straight red line. You got little cuts in it. And that's how you can tell if somebody's removed videos out of their content.
Well, I haven't deleted any. So, I don't know. What's your point? Are you saying you didn't? Is that all? Is that what you're saying?
They're out of their lives. And if you see mine, you'll never see those little dots.
No, not never. Just not recently.
Unless I get hit with, like, say, there's some music in the background.
That doesn't take your video away. That doesn't do it. Music in the background doesn't do it. Stop lying.
And the only option for me to get off ad suitability is to mute a song or remove it.
Muting a song or removing a song doesn't affect your views. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Deleting a video would.
Completely, and then it goes through that whole recertification process.
You're not even making sense.
That is the only time you would ever, and I don't ever...
What does this have to do with anything?
think I've ever done that. I know...
God, you're boring.
It's an option, but I've been on here for 2 years, so have I done it in the past? I can't remember.
Probably have done it in the past. As I said, I don't think you've done it recently. You've still got major TOS bios that would get a lot of people just instantly banned from the platform on your channel right now. Right now. And see, this is what you don't realize, and Molly didn't realize, and other people don't realize. YouTube has to see that stuff for them to do something about it. They have to see it. So, really, you know, when you're just out there and I'm sitting here talking about what you're publicly doing, I'm not going to pursue getting YouTube to look at your stuff. But when you are going after my family, then I'm going to have my lawyer do it, yes, just so you know. I will. And so, you know, y'all are the kings and queens of shooting yourself in the foot, because just you saying this, I should go and make sure that the first thing that happens is that my attorney makes sure that you and your friends have Team YouTube looking at your TOS violations. Because it would just solve a lot of headaches from the start. You should not have a YouTube channel, and you know you shouldn't. And I've already said, if you stop doxing people, I wouldn't care if you kept your channel forever. I don't have any work. Why do I give a fuck? You know? I don't care, just like I didn't care with Molly. Problem is, y'all can't help it. You can't stop. Not only can you not help it, you can't help but go and make sure that people publicly know about what you did. Because you know that it doesn't have an effect on your target unless they know what you did. And it'll eat you up inside, and you're so mad at them that you eventually go out in an angry fit and you throw it out there. Speaking of an angry fit, let's actually watch something entertaining for a minute. So that was Betty basically claiming that she's going to sue a bunch of YouTube creators. And she implies Again, she doesn't say it was me, but she implies that I'm one of them, heavily. My response, as you heard, is, if you're going to, I've already told you and your friends how you can directly message me, and I will put you right in touch with my attorney. She's already handling everything else. So, Betty, no games, no BS. Hit me up the same way you did before and just tell me, without doxing anybody this time, that you want my attorney and where I need to send her contact info to. And I'll send it to you so that you can get on in there and get handled right along with the others, okay? Because she's waiting. Not exaggerating. This isn't YouTube fluff. I'll say it one more time. You already know how to contact me. You've done it when you doxed family members of mine with your friend. And including myself, but still. So, what I'm saying is, reach out again like that. Don't dox anyone this time. And tell me the email address or however you'd like. Would you like me to donate it to your PayPal? Because I will. I will give you the contact information so that you can get all your stuff directly to my attorney, okay? Now, the next thing actually is a little bit, this next clip is a little bit interesting. It's actually not fall asleep boring. So let's take a look.
You know what? I'm done. So we're going to move down. You guys want it? You guys want this? You guys got it, okay?
So you can already tell she's extremely angry. She is flipping out. By the way, I've got a few clips of her flipping out. So the next stream, we'll make sure to make it nice and normal for you. Won't be so boring. Won't be so plain. It won't just be Betty's talking about wanting to sue YouTubers for 20 minutes in a very boring way. We've got a lot of breakdowns from Betty that have happened in the last, let's go back 6 days. What we want to do is take a look at each of them and react to them and give our opinion on them. Then we've got another TRJPMP. I said that wrong. We've got another TRJPMP. There we go. I'm trying not to get the YouTube Autobots. They hate the word tragedy. They hate the word traj. And they hate the word pimp. So in my title, you'll notice I'm trying to communicate to you TRJPMP without the YouTube Autobot getting angry with me. So I'm using TRAJPMPN, TRJPMP. Hopefully that will, seems to be working up to now. Okay.
I don't deserve to be stopped. No other creator on YouTube.
Jessica says the only thing I disagree with Uni about is that I think he should have pursued suing them behind the scenes and told everybody since it was settled. However, it's his choice. Well, I did it first, but they put it out on YouTube. So Jessica, what happened was before I had even gotten anything, they had given all this stuff to other YouTubers and then they went out and started, spreading it around and talking about it and shit. Several YouTubers that I thought were cool have shared paperwork that had some of my family members' addresses and names on it, and I'm never going to talk to them again. They can fuck off. Several YouTubers that, of course, like Nonsense, who I've shouted out, basically tragedy pimped my docs as hard as she possibly could, while lying the whole time, saying that it wasn't a dox, making sure that she ignored the other things that these two were doing on social media so that she didn't have to admit she was lying. So while I respect your opinion, I think that after I can fully respond in a video upload, I think a lot of people will change their minds. I just think that a lot of people right now are still affected heavily by the lies that they have been told by a few select creators.
YouTube deserves to be stopped. We have breaking news right
Oh, Jessica, let me make sure you know this, Jessica. Has any of these creators out there claiming that me and my family weren't doxxed admitted that they took, that when they took, and I don't give a fuck, I'm going to say it, I don't care anymore. When they took my family's information and mailed them, they went and ran their background checks and posted them to social media and then lied about what they found in the same way they did with me and vet bashed me when they did it. Did any of those creators that have been out there saying that we weren't doxxed, have any of them shown how that's not doxing? So they shared that shit that they ran on these people that have nothing to do with any of this. And they took what they found and sent it to other people and posted it public. So I've literally heard these liars, some of them that they claimed were my friend, I have heard them say that I wasn't doxxed because nothing was shared publicly. They know that it was shared publicly. It's still there. It's not even been deleted. It's not even been taken down. If it's still right there. As of like a day before yesterday, it was still right there. From like a week before, 5 days before, 3 days before. They constantly posted this stuff. So not only did they openly dox by sharing the information publicly, people like Spackle lying about that, people like Julie lying about that and shit. Not only did they do that, along with what else they did, I told Spackle and Julie that they were doing that. In the beginning, I'd said, no, they did dox. They did share the addresses and names publicly and to other people. And they would still, both of them would just sit there and go, oh, Uni, it's not a dox if it wasn't shared publicly. I would say they did share it publicly. It's almost like they didn't believe me or something, right? But the majority of all of my supporters have seen it with their own eyes. So it's not like I'm lying right now or anything, but they are, right? And I'm not even mad at them. Even after they did that, I said, look, I don't know if y'all are just not paying attention. I don't know if y'all are just upset. I don't know if y'all just whatever it is, but, we'll just let this go. And then they went and did everything you saw them do. So no, I don't respect them. I'm not going to forgive them or anything right now. Maybe later. I don't know. Yeah, but that's the only way I've been, from the beginning, from the start saying that the only way they can make their arguments is to lie and say that it wasn't publicly posted when it was from the beginning. From the beginning.
Right now that has been derailed because I had
Dead GPK says it is on public display. Don't mess around. It is on public display. It is. Right now it is. From back when they did it. Also, they've been continuously doing it since then. And these people, I still can't even believe these people are defending it. These motherfuckers are sitting on their streams, just running their streams over and over again, repeating about this stuff. Like, I can't believe Uni's acting like he was doxxed and all this garbage. When I'm not acting like I'm doxxed, I've proven that we were doxxed, that it was shared publicly, that is out there right now. You can find it easily. And it is on the accounts of the people who did this. That's why she's so scared. That's why she's so fucking nervous. Because Betty, I hate to break this news to you. You were involved in the beginning of this. You are just as guilty as he is. It was you and him that did this, remember? Oh, have you forgotten what you said in the video the next day? Have you forgotten the things you admitted? Have you forgotten the fact that you messaged me? Does all of this leave your mind so that you can create this lie that you're living today, 7 hours ago on your channel? And I'm not even mad at those of you, like supporters of mine, that are mad at me right now because y'all have listened to people that you trust lie to you, right? Slowly, though, you're all waking up. And guess what they're doing? Changing their tune. They're changing their tune as if they didn't know this from the get-go. When me and them were arguing before they stopped talking to me, before they left my Discord server, we were arguing and I was telling them all of this shit. Okay? I'm literally like, I will show you the evidence. You want to see the proof? Here it is. Look at this right here. This proves that you're not telling the truth when you said that. Right? So instead of facing the truth, they doubled down and left and went out and lied. And honestly, you know, there's part of me that's like, you know, this is such a complicated situation that maybe it's just one of those things where they just got so stressed out that they just got locked into a place. Like, I'm dumb. Okay. I'm sitting here making excuses for people. Right? Like, there's a lot of people out there who think that, well, I won't say it, but the point is, I'm confident because I know what happened. I can prove to all of you easily what happened, which is go watch my first video. That's all I have to say to you. And also, all of their, like I said, arguments are based on the fact that Uni didn't get doxed, or it was a cease and desist, and Uni is lying that it isn't, and all this shit, when they've got lawyers literally telling them, like, no, this is not, he didn't even sign it, people. No, Uni's right. He didn't sign it. There's no legal authority. There is no any authority to this. It's just a letter. It's not even that. And at some point, they have all been capitalizing on the fact that I haven't been saying anything. I just said, fuck it. You know, fuck it. I'll just say what I want to say.
Stop my freaking show to call the FBI because I'm tired of being stalked by this animal that is getting more and more aggressive.
You're being stalked, Betty, by an animal that's getting more and more aggressive. Now, she's not talking about me this time. I don't believe her, though, when she says this, because she tried to say that I did something more than a YouTube video that you can go watch. It's still there. She goes to her channel. There is a reason why we started with this snore fest. Let's get it off my screen because it is a snore fest. There's a reason we started with that snore fest. It's because I want you to know Betty is a DARVO expert. An expert in DARVO. She will go out and attack and victimize people by harnessing their private information or their family's private information or by her own literal words. Their grandma's information, their grandpa's information. This came out of her mouth, okay? Though, that's when she's angry, when she's on cloud 9, and when she's seeing red. As soon as she calms down, she starts getting really nervous and paranoid about the fact that she just went and did all that. So what does she do? She has to convince herself through constantly lying to her audience that she didn't do that. Other people are doing it to her. That's why we started with the other video. It really is a good lead into the DARVO effect. And don't worry, I'm going to bore you with a breakdown on DARVO in just a minute.
Reaching out to me literally every single day. Quit making contact with me.
A troll in your comments talking about your curtains isn't stalking, dummy. And you can block them, Betty. You can block them. Or just don't read your comments. Do what I do. Do what I started doing like 7-8 years ago. Once your channel grows a little bit, you can't read your comments. You can go read a few of them, but you can't read all of them. Can't check your DMs and shit anymore. It's just, you know, unless you've got your shit locked down and you only have a few people that you can talk with, you can't just have open DMs. You can't just have open access because it just, you know, you just can't. You just can't check it. You don't have the time of the day. And if you're out there actually working, you're not going to have time anyway. Yeah, you might be able to, when you open your phone here or there, go through your comments a little bit. All of us do that sometimes. I don't know how, though. She is such a delusional individual. The delusion is so strong. It's so perplexing. You start listening to her and you're like, did this woman not live through her yesterday? Or her, wow, Sonny, Thank you. You know, that really helps right now because I didn't stream for a while. So thank you so much. And it looks like Barbara. Hey, Poisoned Harley. Navy got one. Hey, buddy. Jessica. And is that it? I thought it was 5. I only see 4. Oh, Jessica. Two Jessicas. I'm sorry. That's why I thought only 4 people. Thank you, Sonny. And congrats to the people that got them.
Don't reach out to me. Do not talk to me. Do not email me. Do not brush up.
And no, guys, sorry. I can't go to the easily findable public place where my family's doxes are that was posted by the person who did this to me in the beginning, like I tried to tell everybody. No, I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I'm not going to point you to it. I will tell you it exists like I did in the beginning, but I'm not going to point you to it. And yes, it was shared from the beginning. Anyone that says different is trying to basically create an argument that Uni doesn't get the grace of a grace period of just a few days to go to his attorney and get things set up before he has to face this stuff. Because he does have to get his attorney because restraining orders are happening. Protection for other family members that they might target in the future is going to happen. Many things are happening. Large amounts of money have been spent by me. My new PCs, they became this. And I'm fine with that. Because once this is done, as I've told you all before, I'm not just handling these people. I'm going to handle the other ones that have vet bashed me and the others that have been defaming me for years. I'm going to handle them all in one swift swoop.
Next to me, do not photograph me, do not follow me.
So, wait, who brushed up next to you? Hey, how about this, Betty? Stop doxing my family. Stop stalking my family. Stop looking at my parents and my family's information and sharing it with people. How about that, Betty?
Stay
sitting here yelling at someone in her comments section for saying this when she's out here doing this stuff.
away from me.
Yeah, please, will you stay away from my family? Because you're a creep. You and your friends are creeps. It's called being a creep. It's called being a window peeping creeper. What she is. Oh, I know, you hate me for saying it. Maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you shouldn't be so brazen when you're angry and out yourself so hard.
A few moments ago.
Oh my God, don't even go there. Who is it? Chronicles? Damn it. I don't want to laugh while I'm watching Betty do this. That's such a perfect meme. Like, that's a 10 out of 10. That is a 10 out of 10. A few moments ago, a few moments later, a few inches later. 10 out of 10. People don't realize how long it takes to settle. Well, how long it takes just to go in to see your attorney sometimes. People know that. Some people don't. You're right, Jessica, and I give people that credence. Though some people do know. Some people do know. They know that your attorney works during the day from that whole 9 to 4 thing. You know what I'm saying? And not only do you have to make it in there somehow and work in so that you don't have to have a weeks out kind of thing happening, but you also have to make sure that you're available then. As much as that's a little easier, right? Because in something as important as that, as you all saw me do, right? I can just take days off of work. I can just take any appointment I have and just reschedule it and make sure. But it was hell. I'll tell you now. It was literal hell getting in there, getting it all taken care of, getting enough money. That's what I was doing when I was not streaming for a few days there. When I wasn't uploading to the channel or streaming, that's what I was doing. It was literally a full day affair. I had to go to bed and get up the next morning. I couldn't take a chance of me streaming in the evening when I was free, because I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, which is, what time is it? Almost 11 p.m. And I wanted to stop after an hour, and we've been live a couple hours now. And I've got to get up early tomorrow, which I will because I'm not going to stream too late. But I'm going to cut I was going to go to Kick after this. I'm going to cut it out. But my point is, I had to make sure that I was up at like 6, 7 a.m. every day, ready and raring to go. And then I didn't want to catch myself at night. You know what I'm saying? Like keeping myself going. So I just said, fuck it. I'm taking time off until it's handled. And once I got it handled, bam, that Monday I got back here.
Blank screen. Go find something to do and quit stalking people. Quit breaking.
Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, Betty. This is what I mean by she thinks she's a god. Her friends think they're gods. They think they're special. They think it's rules for thee, blank screen, but not for me. But in reality, it's DARVO, then rules for thee, not for me. So first, it's deny that she was the one doing this to people and her friends. Deny that they did this. What they're trying to claim blank screen is doing, that's what her and her friends have been doing for a week or more at this time that this video was posted. On top of that, you got to deny, attack, and reverse the victim offender role so that she can be the victim now, and the people that she is victimizing now, they just can get erased from the picture, but now blank screen somehow is stalking her.
The law. Quit being a felon. Okay? Nobody wants you here. Go away. Don't come back another day.
Then why do you seek people out? Why do you pursue people? Why do you lie about people? Why do you dig people's information, Betty? Why do you go around doing these things if you don't want... You're so mad that blank screen is doing this to you, and I don't believe that she is.
Okay. You know I'm going to be filing charges with the FBI against you. Like, I've literally...
So the FBI is coming for blank screen. Is that what needs to happen to you and your friend? Huh, I think Betty just gave me an idea.
Literally had... You're stalking me. Constant...
So, wait, Betty. You're telling me that if someone stalks me and my family, all I've got to do is get a hold of the FBI is what you're telling me. Okay, I know how to do it. It is that whole CCC.gov thing that I showed you guys, that CoffeeZilla showed us. Okay, thanks, Betty.
Stalking and harassing me is coming to an end. Believe that. And as a...
Yes, Betty. Anyone stalking and harassing myself and my family is coming to an end. Believe that. Absolutely.
Matter of fact, today's going to be the day.
Well, you think that you can just will things into being by speaking it. See, Betty, you actually have to go and hire people, and then it takes time for them to file the things that are going to stop this shit. So no, it's not going to be today that you're going to stop lying and harassing and stalking my family and I. It's not going to be today, but it'll be soon. Thank goodness.
I'm going to go down to the Sarasota FBI, and I'm going to bring all of this to them.
Okay, so I need to take everything I've got on you and your friends and take it to the Got it. Thank you.
Done with your shenanigans. I'm done with you stalking me. I'm done with all your emails. I'm done with I'm done with it all. Nobody deserves to live like that.
Why don't you block her email address if you don't want her to email you? Huh. Weird.
Nobody. If you don't like me, stay the fuck off my channel.
Rules for thee, not for me, says Betty.
It's pretty simple. Bye.
You say it's simple, but you can't do it. You can't follow your own dictate. You can't follow your own dictate. Then why in the world should you be allowed to yell at people about it? Why don't you show people that you can actually stop doing these things first?
Excuse my language, guys.
No, we won't excuse your language. You're a vile person. Negative, you're evil, you're nasty. You're just all those things wrapped up into a big ball.
Excuse my language. But you don't understand. That person is truly stalking me.
You don't seem to understand that you and your friends are truly stalking my family and me. You don't seem to understand that. No, but you do. Remember your video from a week ago or so? Remember everything that happened?
And it's starting to get really scary, and I'm starting to fear for my life.
So you do understand that what people wait a minute, Betty, I thought that when so blank screen leaving you comments and sending you some emails makes you fear for your life. It's really good that I have this clip, Betty, because I'm going to make sure that it's publicly known that you understand the ramifications of someone doing this to someone. Thank you for this clip. Thank you.
You come to this house, your ass better be on that public road. You step one foot on this house or make me feel threatened for my life. That's it. That's it.
You guys remember this gem of a clip? I remember this gem of a clip. So this was maybe right after Molly got banned, if not right before, but I think, and you can tell me in my chat which one it is. I think it was right after Molly got banned. But it probably, with the way my memory is, because I just been out doing, the time I took away from things, I tried to stay into things a little. But, it does take your attention. You do need to follow it. You do need to track things. You got to keep it straight in your head. So I do have a little bit of a blank spot there. But that's right, either right before or right after Molly got banned, they did this stream, and this is where Betty says that she can shoot somebody in the head, or maybe Molly says it. She'll delete them, and then they come right back under another blank screen account, says, delete her accounts, blank screen does? I thought blank screen had her account taken down, but I could be wrong. So, yeah, I don't know.
I use my gun to protect myself. If you commit a crime...
Let me just say it right here, just to make sure, because I say this all the time. I don't support anybody stalking, doxing, harassing, or going after anyone's family or anyone. I think, as I've said it nonstop for years now, and I've held this opinion nonstop for years, you should respond to each other with videos, and they should be about things that the other person publicly posted. Because as much as these people want to say that they have a right to go and dig and do all these things, you don't. You really don't. You have a right to go and look and take public posts and give your opinion on them on YouTube. That's what you have a right to do. But you do also have a right to go and you could do documentary. You could do tutorials. You could do all these things on YouTube. But let's keep with what's relevant. Commentary, which is where you take the public postings of somebody else, the public things that are out there, and you comment on them in a video. Now, that person's going to have lots of public things, and so what you're going to do is find the things that are relevant and put them all together. Now, you could go over to a documentary. A documentary is more of a, maybe like with June the King. If you've ever watched him, if you've ever watched Down the Rabbit Hole with Frederick Knudsen, which is literally a documentary. Like, they'll go in and tell you this happened, then this happened, then this happened when it comes to a YouTuber, famous or not. They could be infamous, they could be famous, or they could just be kind of a lolcow figure. And so you've got these options. People that think you've got some, I don't know, like right to just go out and dox the living fuck out of a private citizen and go make a YouTube video about it, they are opening themselves up to lawsuits. They're opening themselves up to action. People that think you can make a Twitter account and do those kind of things are doing the same thing. So, you really, in my opinion, I think these people that they have something in common, if you haven't noticed. And what is that thing that they have in common about legality and about what you can and can't do? That is that they teach themselves, right? They don't go to an attorney. And I'm not talking about recent anything. I'm talking about when my YouTube channel picked up, I sat down and talked to my attorney and made sure that I understood what I do have rights for and what I don't have rights for when it comes to what I'm doing, posting things. So you shouldn't be trying to educate yourself after your channel has started to grow unless you want your money maybe grabbed from you. You should be making sure that and if you don't have the opinion of if you don't want to pay for the opinion of an attorney, you can go watch YouTube creator videos. And the thing is, if you do watch YouTube, creator videos aren't creators that make videos. YouTube creator videos are videos YouTube makes for creators so they know what the rules are, what the laws are, what you can and can't do. And from the YouTube creator videos, you will find out that you can do certain things and you shouldn't be doing other things. And that's where I kind of gain my guidance from. So to hear them say that they have some right to be able to X, Y, and Z, they truly don't. Well, they didn't get sued, Uni. That doesn't mean anything. They could be breaking many privacy laws with the way, let's use Georgia as an example. When they went to Georgia over the case of the missing infant that wound up in the landfill, they could have been breaking many privacy laws. And until somebody in that area who had their rights violated by them, or someone in that area that wanted to represent people who had their rights violated by them, filed an actual lawsuit and went to court to try to take those laws and apply them against these people, then, as you know, they're not going to have a consequence, right? So you could theoretically on YouTube for years do something that you're not allowed to do, something that you could be sued for, X, Y, and Z. And that's why you should get advice. You should get advice, if not from an attorney, if your channel blows up, at least from YouTube's resources. And you can find a link to the channels that contain those resources in your studio, just so you know.
Crime here, you're caged. Just FYI, folks. And the people that follow me and stalk me.
I remember this is really cringy. So Betty lives in a delusion. If we're to take what Betty says as Betty is being honest, if we do that, is what I'm saying, then she lives in a delusion. Then she does. Okay? If you follow me, you feel me? So a lot of the time when Betty talks, I think it's an act. I think it's her, Crispy, I don't know how to do the iPhone link to membership, but someone in the chat, one of my mods will try to help you, okay? If you can't get it today, I'll look into it tonight and I'll let you know later. You don't have to rush joining or anything. You can join next time if you want. It's no big deal. Yeah, okay, I lost my train of thought, but I remember this, Betty, I don't know if you take what Betty says as truth or not. I don't, and I don't mean that Betty is lying or not. If Betty is lying or not, you have to take what she's saying and compare it against reality. What I'm saying is, do you believe that Betty is being honest when she speaks, as in she's telling you how she really feels? I don't believe that she's being honest, is my point. I don't believe that.
In real life, can attest to that.
What kind of gun is that? This is a tweet from Betty. Shit. If I had Navy on here, he would call it out in 2 seconds. I'm not good with pistols or handguns. That's not in Tarkov, is it? That is not a 1911. No. Hey, Cherie. Thank you. Hey. Hashtag Betty Bubble. There it is. There it is. Betty Bubble. I do when I'm a mod, but I can't do it any other time. It's so annoying. Well, I can think about modding people here. Let the drama die down and I'll give you a wrench. Give it a week and I'll give you a wrench if you can't figure it out. Don't worry about it. We'll get it together. We'll get it together.
To human life, serious bodily injury, significant violent action, or threats to national security, press 2.
See, and you know what the funny thing is? The FBI, should they be utilized? Let me think about this, because again, I'd have to ask. I'd have to get guidance. I am not these 3, 4 lolcows that hang in a group. I don't try to tell you that I know the law and that I'm good with it or anything. I'll give you a source to where I've pulled information from, to where I've heard things from. If I tell you, hey, this is what I'm thinking is how it works. So when it comes to the FBI, though, we do know that you have the that web page that CopyZilla gave us, where they do investigate cyber or internet instances of stalking, harassment, sharing of private data, financial crimes, fundraisers. And yeah, I think if somebody got mad at a YouTuber and then went and started to dox his family, I do think that would be relevant to turn into the FBI, in my opinion.
To report suspicious email, hacked email, internet scams, or ID theft, press 3. To report mortgage fraud, press 4. To report telemarketing fraud, gift card fraud.
Oh my God. Oh my. Crispy, you found it? Oh my goodness. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I love you for it. Wow. Press 4 for mortgage fraud. If you don't know what that's about, that's from something that a banger of a video that Toasty put out, Burnt Toast. We did kind of a reaction to that whole thing because there was a company that was owned by somebody from overseas, yada, yada, yada. You remember what happened, right? That's why that's on the screen.
Identity theft or unfair or fraudulent business practices, press 5. If you're calling about any other issue, press 6. To repeat this menu, please.
Why would you do this live? Because doing it live is just doing it for show. It means you're not serious. It means you're not really, it means you're not really trying. It means you're not really, it means it's more to try to intimidate that individual over trying to protect yourself. Because you're going to have to give them private information. One of the first things they're going to ask you, and I don't know why I know this, Betty, but it could be because of something that happened to me recently. One of the first things they're going to ask you is for a bunch of private information that you're not going to want to broadcast.
Oh, he's been reported, Hush Puppy. Trust me, he's been reported to the FBI. Believe me, he may think he's acting cool, but wait until they get a hold of him. He steps in the wrong place. I mean, they're probably following him now. He's been smoking pot out of his car. I've already gotten reports.
Who is smoking pot out of their car? Reports? Somebody, you do know that pot is legal in an enormous number of states, right?
They know.
Thank you for calling the FBI. Maybe.
I was trying to buy memberships for Burnt Toasty the other day, and I couldn't find those, and I sent Toasty money on CASHAPP to buy them herself, and she couldn't do it. And you know how Crispy, it's YouTube's system is really weird right now, and here's what it is, just so you know, because I've actually heard some of this from people. Now, I'm not saying that I'm giving you perfect information, but I'm going to give you what I think, I've been told it is. So depending on the type of Android or iOS update that you're running, and depending on the type of YouTube app version you're running, and depending on some of those kind of things, it can stop you from membering, or it can stop. They're trying. I think YouTube's trying to work on that right now, but I think it has something to do with versions of phones, versions of software, and versions of updates. You know what I mean? But I believe Toasty 100%. Like, if you couldn't do it and then you sent a tip to Toasty and she couldn't do it, it's probably something to do with that. And I've heard that YouTube's working on it. I don't know if they are, but I've heard that they are. I would think they would, because, YouTube gets a cut of the money. They're going to want to make that money. So it just makes sense.
Sure, my first and last name is Ann.
Pot's legal, Betty. He hasn't done anything wrong. He called her a grifter. That's what she got mad about. Oh, that's right. I know she's not talking about me. I don't even smoke weed. I smoke CBD, but that's not weed. But anyway.
Andra, A-N-D-R-A, Griffin, G-R-I-F-F-I-N. That I did not want to go this route because I didn't want to have to go real life. I didn't.
Betty, I have a video where you admit to going real life, not even a week or two ago. This is why people call you a liar. You think that if you speak certain sentences with the perfect words, you can lie about reality. You're trying, if I speak these words, I'll make people think that Betty's not going real life on people, right? A week and a half ago, I didn't go real life on people, says Betty, because I spoke these words. It's called semantics. It's a lie, though. It is an absolute lie. If you take $100 out of someone's purse And then a month later, you're telling people that you borrowed it from her and she's just being a liar and stuff. And I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. She's lying on me. You're lying. And it doesn't matter what semantics you use or what lie you try to push. Our words are supposed to be used to describe reality. Yeah, you can have certain issues, and that's the wrong word, but you can have certain, like, again, sometimes depending on context and depending on what you're saying, but that's the point. You're supposed to use those things to be able to describe to the people listening, so they take away the same reality that is the real reality. And that's what you're not doing here. I didn't want to have to go real life, guys. You always love going real life. You did want to go real life. You do want to go real life. Just fucking admit it finally, because there's too many instances where you're caught. I'm sorry.
But enough is enough.
Not
you guys
sorry.
Have watched
Sorry, not sorry.
what I've endured. You guys have watched what I endured for the last 2 years. And I don't have to put up with it.
See, and this is good, because Chronicle says, I've watched what you have put others through for the last 2 years. I watched what her and her friend put my family through just a week ago or so. I've watched how they then try to defend themselves by lying and trying to create a narrative on someone that is defamatory in order to protect themselves from what they did that they know is wrong. They know is against TOS. They know they shouldn't be doing. And don't think that that's not what is going on here in a reversed way. Her calling the FBI on this person is just her over-exaggerating to make it seem as if she doesn't do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, she's saying, I have to act towards a troll on the internet who is trolling me about my curtains and things like this in my comments section. And I have to act as if this person is stalking me and I need to defend myself with the FBI because Betty is quick to try and show in everyone out there that she uses the FBI to protect herself from stalkers. The only reason she's doing that is because of what she and her friends have been up to for like a solid few weeks, if not even longer. Because if you recall, right before they did it to me, they did it to Queen Bee. Right before they did it to Queen Bee, they did it to the person that put out the documentary, which I think was Dietz. But if I'm wrong, correct me. Right before Dietz is another person that I could name, and I could go back and back and back. I could go back until we hit Toasty, where she demanded YouTube give her Toasty's real name so that she could yada blah, blah, blah. And YouTube said, we could ban you for this. You have to stop now or we're going to ban you. I mean, even the sheer fact that that happened, as I've said a million times with Toasty, proves that YouTube is been very close to banning her for misusing certain systems to try and dox people so that she can try to then intimidate them with filings that are improper and harassment and wrong. And you'll say, then why does the court let somebody file things that harasses people or they're filed wrong? We all have a right. We have rights to go and file. We don't have a right. Our right to file is there, okay? So if we use it, it's supposed to be our responsibility to do it properly by hiring a person who is qualified, which will cost a good amount of money in order to do it, right? And so that's why you'll notice if you see the red flag of somebody filing themselves, or you see the red flag of someone, remember Betty was saying she's drafting papers to file herself. Didn't say she hired an attorney, remember? Because they're not, if it was something serious, they would never let themselves do it and end up making a mistake that would jeopardize it. Again, it's not for what they say it's for. It is a frivolous thing, and that's why they're using themselves as opposed to doing it the serious way, or else they themselves would have went through school for it. They would have passed the bar. They would have been qualified to do it.
And you know what he just said? He's just told me you did the right thing in making the first step in reaching out to us. That's
because you lied to him. When you lie to the FBI, they then are going to say to you, you've done the right thing in reaching out. That's like calling the popo. If I say to the popo, oh my God, this homeless guy punched me and took my wallet, help. You did the right thing calling. We're coming. And when they show up and they find out that you're lying to them and you're just dancing in the middle of the road with no pants on, yeah, they're not going to say that once they get there, boo-boo.
That's what he just told me. So I'm done. I'm literally freaking done. You know? And I don't know what else to say.
You're not done. You're not done. Look at everything else that's in this video. You're never done. This is why I must, as a first step, make sure that the terms of service violations, something I want to let happen naturally, right? I want YouTube to naturally be tagged, naturally look at your channel, naturally do what they did to Betty, to Molly, to you when they go and look at your channel. I want it to happen naturally. But when you're playing these kind of games, real life with everybody, and then threatening me with it, the responsibility then is for me to make sure that the first thing that happens is that happens.
I don't do this to other people. Me covering true crime and going around this country isn't affecting anybody else.
No, that's not affecting other people. Covering true crime, not affecting anyone. Going around the country, not affecting anyone. But that's not what you're doing. That's not all that you're doing. This is more lying. This is you trying to make statements to your audience to carry the communication that all you do are those things. That's why it's a lie. If you were telling the truth, if you imagine, Betty, for a moment, since you constantly want to say that people are somehow harassing you or whatever it is by talking about you, imagine if Betty came out and said, and I need to get off here, so imagine that Betty came out and said to all of us what she's really done in the last month. Let's imagine she goes back 30 days, starts on that day, and gives us a factual accounting of only the things that she did online and involving her doing her channel. So I streamed for 2 hours. Then I went and looked up someone's private information for 4. Then I went and sat and traded that around with all my friends for 5 hours. Then I fell asleep really late and I woke up a lot later than I wanted to. And I started looking for more private information. And then I went out and lied and said that people are looking at my private. Imagine she gave us a factual rundown that there was some kind of secret serum that you could inject yourself with. And when you do it, it makes you go back for 30 days and factually state everything you've done on the internet for 30 days. Do you really think that Betty would, if we knew everything she has supposedly done, like not, only the stuff that we should know about, right? That's another factor of the serum. So everything you've done on the internet for 30 days, you're about to sit for like 2 hours and give us a rundown of all of it. You've got your calendar here, and the majority of every day on the calendar would be her doing things that she's not supposed to do, that is invasive towards other people's privacy, that is invasive towards other people's rights, that is literally the thing. So she sits and does this for 4 hours, and then when she goes live for an hour and she's yelling at all these people about how they're stalking her, then she goes back out here. You find out she's sitting here doing this for this amount of time, and then she lies to people and says she doesn't do it for this amount of time, and then she goes back and does it for this amount of time. And that's how every day would look like, in my opinion, if she had a serum that would get her to tell us what she's done the last 30 days. All right. So let me go ahead and give you a little brief on what we just talked about, and so that I can get out of here. All right. First off, I haven't probably said it once, if not twice. You can support me by liking, subscribing here in UNIRock 2 and at paypal.me/UNIRock and $UNIRock on Cash App if you'd like. So the first thing I showed you was an extremely boring video that had to... the first thing I did was tell you guys about an extremely boring video where Betty basically talks about filing a bunch of lawsuits. So we made sure to listen to a good 20 minutes of that and me react to it so that you could get my opinion. Then after that, we heard Chronicles clips of Betty exploding about blank screen stalking her. And then we heard in the middle of that, some of the callbacks that showed that Betty wasn't being honest even then. number one, from the grip, she's not being honest about blank screen, but those clips in the middle that Chronicles showed go even further to show that she's not being honest and that she's just totally lying. So why? What relates to all of this? These clips I've shown and my reaction to it, what's the thing that binds it together and relates to it? It's, again, when she gets angry and when she's mad, she's the most cocky person in the world. She's upfront about the fact that she is doing the things that she's doing with her friends, right? You remember those donos that were sent to me that contained doxes of family members in it. And then she's right in there with that. And then, of course, I described how from the very beginning of that they had been taking those family members that they doxed and posting their backgrounds when improperly violating their rights, stalking and doxing them and taking their backgrounds and blasting it all over social media and sharing it with other people while mixing in lies to the stuff they shared, defaming, libeling, slandering after stalking, harassing, and doing these things. And as you see, when she comes down off of her high of hanging with her friend doing this, then she wants to make it seem like she's the ultimate victim. And the tie together the entire time, other than lying and gaslighting, is DARVO. Denying that she does the thing that we watched her do, that we have video of her doing, to the point where she's telling her audience to go after us. What was it? Make their lives hell. And when she's telling other people, sharing private information, and she's just upfront about doing it and cocky about it, she has to defend herself with the DARVO. The DARVO was the thing, the basis of the DARVO was to deny that she and her friend and that their friends all had done this and were involved in this. And then to try and reverse that role to where they're the victim and somehow I'm the bad guy, or another person like blank is the bad guy. And then, unfortunately, as we've seen in the community since they've been doing this, the certain creators out there that like to work with the people doing this and spread their lies and defend them, those creators, were out there multiplying and defending and spreading the key tenets of their narrative to try to help them maintain a community where the tragedy pimps get to pimp, and then the tragedy pimps wearing a mask get to pretend like they're calling them out as long as they follow the basic rules of their tragedy pimping masters. Keep an eye out. I've got a lot of content about this community coming out, and I hope you'll take a look at it. And we will just continue with each day rolling back into our normal show until you can't tell the difference. I'll be back. After taking a break for a week, you know, it does take me a few shows to get back in. Yeah. Each show, I think, is getting more showy. Getting more show-like. I like it. I like it a lot. So, one little caveat here, though. I'm not a creator that holds grudges. I'm not. I've always been the type of person that resolves things with words. So, for those of you that want to say that I hate a certain person or am mad at a certain person, it's not true. I don't carry that kind of idiocy along with me. I think that everything can be handled through discussion. And of course, my door is open to nonsense, as it was when she denied it and cowardly sat on her channel just playing drama games and lying instead of actually coming here and proving her case to me and letting me defend myself. And my door is open to others, as they know still to this day.